Okay, so we're going to continue building the face. I'm going to go into the front view and I'm just going to continue this stripe going across. I need to be in edge mode. Just make sure I have this one edge selected. I'm going to hold down Shift. I'm just keeping Shift held down as I pull this across. And then it's just a matter of going into vertex mode. And I've seen some students where they like move one arrow and then they move the other arrow over. That's extremely inefficient. Just click on this and then drag it where you want. Now, sometimes it'll get locked to a certain direction, and then you can only move it, in that direction. If you just click on this like box in between the two arrows so that it lights up yellow again, then you can move the vertex anywhere you want. So you should just click and then drag it right to where you want it to be. Okay, so we want this way down here. There, and you can do this really quickly because it does not have to be perfect. Okay, now when you go to this other view, you are pulling it just left or right. Don't do it up or down, or at least you shouldn't have to. These vertices should fall right on these little spots, like perfectly. Now they may be off just a hair, but you get the idea. Like that one looks like I probably didn't get it perfectly in the front view. So, you can adjust them. And as soon as we do this little stripe, we'll check that out now in the perspective. So that's a really nice curvature of our forehead, okay? So it's back to the front. Now, I usually stay in the front and then go to the left quite a bit, but that doesn't mean you have to work that way. You could actually, let's say, go to the left view, and I'm trying to think of how we could do this. We might just take this edge up and maybe one more so we can just kind of do the border here. So just kind of, now here we're doing the exact same thing we normally would have done in the front view, but we're doing it in the side view. And then when we go to the front view, exact same story, only left or right. Okay, so it's going to be something like this. You can see it looks like it's lining up really nicely. Okay, so there we are. We sort of have that little piece on the side of the head. And now I think what we could do in the left view, if we wanted to continue in the left view, would be to go ahead and just grab this whole grouping going across. So now you see I'm not really pulling them off. I mean, they're not like shaped like the polygons there. If you pull off too many, it is possible to get a little confused. So because these are shaped so differently than the ones I was actually pulling off, I'm going to go ahead and shape those now. And then just immediately switch to the front view and then start pulling vertices over. So I think that one's there, that one's there. You can kind of see, like if you get the top one correct, then the bottom one becomes a little more obvious, as to where it should go. Cool. Now I'm just going to switch or stay in this front view and make sure I got that edge selected, and then just hold down Shift, Shift, Shift. Now this would be extrude edges in Maya. Okay, and because I wasn't holding down Shift correctly there, I lost an edge. Okay, so I'm just going to go into the Swift Loop tool and just cut that in. So here again, you make a mistake, it's super easy to fix. So obviously I'm not going to spend the whole time building this. I'm going to show you what it should look like though in the different stages. Okay, so typically I'll build all the yellow and green, I'm sorry, all the red and green at the same time. Okay, so here's a situation where it looks great from the front, but of course I haven't pulled it out from the left view yet. So let's do that really quickly. And then I'm just going to show you some progress. Now you see here, there's only one vertex that this could actually go to, which is right there. So sometimes, you know, it's like it's not really obvious whether you have the right vertices selected. Sometimes once you realize that you've got a certain grouping going correctly, then it's kind of easy to keep pulling them over. And you can see here it looks like a little bit like a mess here, but you'll notice that as you keep going over, these vertices keep falling onto a particular place. Now there's one up here that's got to come way over to there. And then this one I think is actually the red one. So it's kind of amazing when it actually all kind of fits together nicely. Let's look at that in perspective. So we're getting a really nice forehead here. The next thing you can do that really speeds up the process would be to, let's say, select all those edges. Make sure you don't have edges selected that you can't use. And then just bridge those across. So just like that. Okay. Now we're really getting a nice forehead going. So if you continue that process, let me show you these steps. I'm just going to unhide some things here. So this is what it should look like as you continue. This, of course, being the continuation of the piece I just built. And then as you slowly fill in all the green and red, you will end up with this object right here. And then it's just a matter of filling in the yellow in between everything. And these last pieces are the most difficult, the one around the eye and the one around the nose. But if you're patient, just carefully do it. It shouldn't be a problem. What I'll do in the next video is show you how to quickly put the eye together.